Did I kill the ball fantasy? Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do it.
Yeah, I'll go brother.
Go.
Talking about
Well, I
German
don't know which
scientists.
direction we want to go, but I was just kind of reminiscing on some of the things that were said. Isa, do you think, like, you talk about how, you know, like, people are just craving this conversation and, you know, just the age old, you know, just philosophy, but also just spirituality, who we are, where we come from, what's the nature of this realm, what's the nature of our lives, what's the nature of our physical body, and then the body of the earth on the larger scale. And it just makes me think about, and then you talk about how, like, you know, when the moon landing happened, it kind of sealed the deal and kind of shut people off. Like, oh, okay, they did it. Now they went to the moon. They got a picture of it. For sure, it's the globe. You know, kind of in people's minds. But do you think, like, the kind of eruption of you know, flat Earth, as it were, and just cosmology of the Earth not being a globe, etc., like, you know, pretty much starting around 2015? Do you think that, like, the way that it has been such an eruption is because it was, like, held back for so long, like at least like before World War II, if not World War One? Like, do you think there's just been like a pressure release valve that's kind of been just blasting since 2015 for like a whole decade now, like in relation to that
I think it's
suppression?
just the advent of social media.
I think of it like it's almost like an intellectual, like, you know, 100th monkey effect, where, like, you know what I mean, like everyone was like, "What? That's an idea? What?" Boo, you know what I mean? They have to observe it. I think, like, it's something like almost, you know.
In fact, the year 2015 it directly coincides with the year that Discord was founded.
Well, Discord wasn't
Well,
the spot
Yeah,
back
Flutter
until
didn't
like
really come
probably
onto
about,
Discord till like 18. Yeah.
2017, 2018, around then is when Discord got popping. But
I would
yeah,
say it was planned disclosure.
well, I mean, I don't know, everyone's always like, it's just like everything was planned. I just don't know. I don't know.
No, that's easy to say. But
You know,
look
it's just
where we
less than
are.
stuff.
Look where we are 20 years later. Like, I was ready for COVID. Gotta say that.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
You
none
know,
of
I mean,
you guys would be talking to each other right now if it weren't for social media.
Oh, no doubt. Well, think of how cool it is that we have the age of information. Like, again,
That's not
imagine
true,
trying to
though.
like, well,
We
what?
were on other platforms. We just came here because it was easier.
Yeah, there weren't as many of you on the other platforms, I'm sure.
Well, it
YouTube.
was like YouTube. It was like Google Hangouts. You know, like we were in the chat, so there'd be like 100 people watching, you know, several people on the show or whatever, and then people would have their own shows and people would join that. So,
Dude, there was this guy who had a name. You guys may have known him from years ago. His name was Go Find the Others. That was his Discord.
Oh, yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah, that guy's awesome. I haven't talked to him in years, but back when I talked to him back then, yeah. But dude, Go Find the Others, and I just love that name because it's like that. Go find the others that know what's going on, you know, or that have an insight as to certain things, you know, and especially when it comes to a lot of these things. And that could go for like health, you know, health, like in the health world, like go find the others that know about, you know, healthy this, or go find the others that know about whatever, you know. So that could be used in a lot of ways, but it is true that, like, with the level of like the globe kind of saturation within the culture, that without social media, it would have been difficult to really find, because a lot of people in this community, we don't even have very many people in our real lives to even talk to about this. There, you know, so we talk to people all around the world on here that we can talk to, because the concentration of people that are even open to this or discussing it is obviously more spaced out compared to the saturation of the globe, etc. So yeah, there's no question social media has played a huge role, but that doesn't mean that it's not true, and it doesn't mean that social media is the only thing fueling the discussions or the truth or whatever it may be. Even if there was no social media, everybody would still have their own thoughts in their own mind, you know. So, but yeah, it has played a role, that's for sure.
the plan wouldn't work without it. Not that it's a win for us, too.
you have any more fallacies, Rum, that you want to throw down? Tube? Any more fallacies?
Yeah. Well, real quick before any of that, like, yo, but what I think about, you know, I always think of Bob Marley was asked, you know, when he was using like his own recording equipment or some shit like that. They said to him, you know, how do you feel about using the fruits of Babylon? Right? Because he was using like electric, whatever the fuck. And And he just looked at him and he said, just, and I say this to keep in mind with the phones and all of it. It's like, he goes, Babylon has no fruit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, because everyone always looks for, like, what the fuck is going to be the evil intention behind this, that, and the other thing. But it's like, yo, Babylon, there is no fruit coming from those people. So you're good.
That doesn't make sense.
When I'm saying, like, I mean, with, like, technology, like, right now, like, us having the ability to communicate. Like, it's not like you're using the fruit of Babylon or part of the evil system. Like, no, they don't have a fruit, man. We have a fruit. And we're using everything that God gave us to fucking make, our fruits available.
Well, he's saying use. Prince said use the computer, don't you. I didn't hear that quote from Bob, but he knew for sure. Like Nietzsche
Yeah.
saw the plan, but
I bet Bob Marley would have been a flat earther.
Dude, I love that song Patience from Damian Marley. He goes, if the earth's, you've heard that, right? I'm sure.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
same shape.
He goes out when they said that the earth was a ball, everybody laughed. He goes, if the shape changed again, you know what I mean? Something like, I forget what it was, but he's like, if the earth was flat, it's like talking about how the ancients thought the earth was flat. It's just ill. I forget the line exactly, but I love that he made a mention of that. With Nas. What a great tune that is, actually.
Yeah, patience.
Yeah.
All right, I just pulled it up quickly. I was quick with it. All right. He says here, I'll just start from this verse. We are born
Yep.
not knowing. Are we born knowing all? We growing wiser. Are we just growing tall? Can you read thoughts? Can you read palms? Can you predict the future? Can you see storms coming? The earth was flat. If you went too far, you would fall off. Now the earth is round. If the shape changed again, everybody would start to laugh. The average man can't prove of most of the things that he chooses to speak of, and still won't research and find out the root of the truth that you seek of.
Righteous. What a fucking dope. Love it. What a great line.
I didn't say it in a very cool way. I was just reading it very word for word.
Hey, yo, we need Robert in here with the Jamaican accent. You tell him to
Yeah.
do that.
Who wrote
It could have
that?
been said a lot with a lot
The only
cooler
thing he's
style.
good for, bro. Fucking
Who wrote that? Sorry.
Damian Marley.
Damian Marley.
Yeah, Damian Marley in that song. Yo, check out the song, bro. It's called Patience. It's fucking hot. It's Nas is in it. It's fucking sweet too.
Sabali.
Damian Marley. Yeah, Sabali. Yeah. Sabali. Yeah, that's it.
Can you see storms coming?
Here, I'll post
Yeah.
it.
I already did.
We still don't
you
have
got it.
good weather.
That is a good song. That song has just like an epic, like it's like that, like a timeless quality to it. It really hits you on like a deeper level.
Yeah, play it loud.
That tune's dope.
You do it again. I'm coming for you.
Is there any like reference of Bob Marley mentioning flat Earth at all in his life, or because he was so attuned to like the controllers and what they were doing, and all of his lyrics? And,
Dude. Hey, bro. The most fucking wildest shit I always think about is his fucking tune. I mean, dude was literally like almost shot by, I don't know if it was CIA or who, but like that, oh mockingbird, have you ever heard words like I never heard, right? You know that tune?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so think about it. Operation Mockingbird. Oh mockingbird, have you ever heard the words that I never heard? Like he's heard, like, are you listening into my house when I'm not here? Is the bug there? You know what I mean?
He,
Like,
yeah,
dude,
he was in there, dude. He got
bro, right? I don't know what they knew. I don't know. I know in fucking Woodstock, you ever seen there's footage of Woodstock and trip me out. It's these kids like, yo, they're cloud seeding, man. They're putting the
yeah,
fucking making it rain. Like they knew shit, bro. They knew like shit, like just like we were calling out shit live action during the whole vid. They were calling out the shit live action. They probably knew what Operation fucking Mockingbird was. You know what I mean? And that I just always think of that with Bob, like, "Oh, Mockingbird, have you ever heard the words like I never heard?" And then think about it, he's writing about a song because the girl is leaving him because she can't take the pressure of like being a revolutionist with him. So she's leaving him because she can't take the pressure. And he's like, "Oh, Mockingbird, like, fuck you niggas." Like, what a fucking, I mean, if that's what it was, I don't know. Like, there are mockingbirds in Jamaica. I mean, I don't know. It's just so beautifully done. You don't know. But how crazy! I've always thought that line of "Oh, Mockingbird," and then Operation Mockingbird.
Yeah, man, I wonder kind of where he dipped into it all because it seems like, I mean, that like his doctor, like he got that weird like toe cancer, and then the doctor that he like treated him was like one of the head doctors of the Nazi regime, like the same doctor that like treated him or whatever when he died.
Yeah, it was
And
like in Germany or something. It was like in Germany.
Rita because he went for like some special treatment, and like Rita Marley thinks that they killed him. His,
Well,
his
yeah,
wife.
and Peter Tosh. I mean, the word is fucking possibly Rita was in on it.
Oh,
I've heard
really?
shit like that, and I've
I
heard
didn't know
Rita
that.
was in on. I've heard Rita was also in on fucking Peter Tosh's death. Like, I don't know, man.
I mean, well, Bob did sleep with every Miss Jamaica, and that's how we got all the kids.
But there's that, right? And then there's like and then she was running around on him, I guess. And like, I mean, I just don't know. But she
He was,
controls. She's like, dude, she's like, from what I gather, I don't know. That bitch is a gangster in Jamaica, dude. Like, they
and he
are,
was Admiral son, General. What was the sea captain son? Bob was. Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, was dad, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know.
See, nowadays,
But
I don't think they would care. Like, I don't think the controllers would care that much if someone was out there singing revolutionary music. But back then, he was creating a stir, like,
yeah,
so
like peace
kind
in
of.
the
Well,
Middle
bro,
East. Yeah, right.
dude,
Wasn't
you know the story about his album in Zimbabwe and shit? You know that song Zimbabwe? When he went over there to fucking like help him like with their government or whatever, dude. Like before he went to Zimbabwe to play there, he used to fucking like the government used to take all of the albums when they were shipped into Zimbabwe into Africa. All of his albums, they take a razor blade and slice them. So when you got the fucking album, it never played like the whole album because nobody wanted to hear Africa Unite, all of his
Wow.
tunes. So they used to fucking take the album and they would razor blade the fucking albums. Look it up. And then when they won, that's why it was such a big deal that he went there and played because they all loved his music. And it's crazy because it was like 800,000 like revolutionaries like stormed the fucking stage. There was no control, and all they wanted to do was hear Bob's music. So like the potential for the chaos that was there, he destroyed all of it because they just wanted to hear his music. So instead, and they acted right. You know what I mean? They were happy that he was. It's like fucking wild, man. What a
that's when
fucking rock star, dude! Like real rock star right there, bro.
that's when he had the leaders on stage too and made them shake hands. Right? It was
No. That was in Jamaica, dude. After like the day after they shot him. That's why his bandage is all bleeding through and shit because he's literally just come from the fucking like hospital after getting shot and
again kind of
fucking
Trump vibe.
legendary motherfucker, dude. What a bad motherfucker.
Sorry to spoil, but with Trump vibes. Sorry.
What about Trump?
Well, no, I mean just thinking of the knowing how it works, getting involved, and then dealing with that. Like people
Yeah, the
that know the
repercussions.
whole like, are they good or bad? You know, I mean, I like Peter, but maybe Peter was a little more like militant, and Bob's like, no, there's a long game, and he tried to get
Now,
involved.
Peter Tosh was nuts, though, from what I gathered, too, though. Like, you ever heard the story about Keith Richards?
Man, I'm missing some shit on Tosh, but I really like him a lot.
No,
But
believe me, guys. I'm a step in, raise the boat to watch
Breaking
my
news.
time. I'm dangerous.
Apparently, the ceasefire between Iran and Israel is in effect, and Iran is still sending more missiles.
okay.
Laheim. Laheim. What are we talking about? We're talking about the real. We were talking about the real Israelites, Bob Marley and shit.
Yeah.
Like
No, but there's a
man.
song Peter did that basically got him killed. My friend just showed me. I'm like, don't have it. It's tough to say everyone's been killed or replaced or become someone else, but yeah, I even saw something when Bob like put his foot in his shoe and was like, "Ow, that hurts. I got cancer."
What do you think? He's like really?
Can they just like give someone cancer? You guys heard about the CIA has a heart attack gun that has like a little dart in it? Apparently, it's a little dart, and it has what's it called? Tetrodotoxin. It's like the same. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that exactly right. I am familiar with it. It's like from the puffer fish, and it's a type of toxin. And they put a little dart on it. It's like a heart attack gun, and they shoot you with it, and boom, you have a heart attack. Do you think they have like a cancer gun or some way they can give people cancer?
Yo, what if Clarence Thomas is Bob Marley?
Let's look at it. No,
look at the ears and shit. Like, that'd be hilarious. Where's New Perspective?
Thomas has like the most rock solid history of arguments. I mean, all the shit he wrote in school from a lawyer I know.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could like cite how he like writes something, like like how he like. Oh god, it's hilarious.
Bob was half white. Which is funny when Lauryn Hill was like, "Our kids are not okay." I don't. But Lauryn Hill had a pretty good song.
Bob Marley is Will Smith. Will Smith, guys, come on.
There you go. No, but Will Smith is Obama, so they can't work out.
Just take a look at Will Smith and tell me
right?
That's not outside the box. Is inside the box. That's what the box gets you.
Sticking with Clarence Thomas.
He loves like road trip, motorhome, and white women. You know. Said it.
Move to Philly, right? Didn't Bob live somewhere in Detroit or something?
I guess the shape of the earth just wasn't really much of a topic back then, huh? Welcome, Bob Marley. It just wasn't really as much on the table.
I think they were excited. I think they looked at like, fuck Babylon. They think they're going to the moon and they don't care. Like, that's how, you know what I mean? They were like, but I think a lot of people really, like, a lot of Rastas are Globers and shit.
Hey, if you didn't watch the TV broadcast or the radio, probably didn't believe the moon, but
I mean, who knows?
It was more about peace and love and against war, no?
Yeah,
right. But you know what? They would have consulted the scriptures. That's what they would have done. They probably would, you know what I mean? Which is interesting.
Tosh did the No Nuclear War album. I don't know, man. Nukes are interesting to me because, again, Trump was big on it in the 90s. His uncle, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Aren't Rastas affiliated with Jewish religion, Rastafarian religion?
No, with the Ethiopian leader who came out in all purple and looked like a king, the Raz.
Well, no, it's what do you call it? Yeah, it's like Jewish, but it's Christian. It's like Orthodox. Like it's kind of interesting.
I mean, because Jah is kind of Yah, basically.
Yeah, like Yahweh or whatever.
Yeah.
But Haile
Rastafari,
Selassie, like
Selassie, yeah,
Haile
their
Selassie is the
dad
like
is
the,
Tafari.
hey
Yeah.
Andrew, you might like Haile
Big
Selassie
brothers,
just means like the power of the Trinity, and so that's why like the name Rastafari was who Haile Selassie his name was something Tafari. So like
East
and
Nagas.
Ras is Ras means king. So
Yeah,
King Tafari, and then like so when they took his name and he was crowned the king, then his name was turned into Haile Selassie, which means like the power of the Trinity.
and
It's interesting.
this is like lineage of David traced to Africa, and they told Italy, "You're not taking over here." Like Italy was there in World War II, and then we had the whole destruction of Ethiopia and like weird debt, and they threw his ass out. But it wasn't Selassie, yeah, who was. It was the purple, and it's just one guy started like a religion for him in Jamaica. Pretty. I mean, I'm sure there's more
Well,
to
no,
it
it
than that.
was Marcus. I think it was like Marcus Garvey, and they said like look to the coming of the East for the crowning of a black king. And
Wanted to go back to Africa. Yeah, is that
yeah,
right? I don't.
yeah, and that's why Marcus Garvey made the North Star, the ship line to go back to Africa. And like he wanted to go back to Africa, and they said look to the east. You know what I mean? It was all about like because Ethiopia has the story of the Kebra Nagast, and the Kebra Nagast talks about how the Queen of Sheba was actually. So the story is that like King Solomon had a son with the Queen of Sheba, and that when he was of age, he went to the land of Sheba to rule it,
That's
and the land of Sheba is Ethiopia, and Ethiopia is the home of the longest reigning Christian church. It's actually believed where the Ark of the Covenant is and all kinds of
Queen.
stuff. And it's actually interesting. The relationship between Ethiopia and the Muslims is interesting. It's really interesting. It's just so intriguing because, like, the Christian
Yeah.
king of Ethiopia protected the Muslims when the Arabians were coming after him because the Muslim book talked about Christ. And like and then like so they were like getting persecuted, and by the Arabians they went to move to Ethiopia. They were hiding in Ethiopia. The Arabians show up to get them, bring it before the king, and the Muslims made their case to the king that they were with him because they were believers in Christ. And he told the Arabians they couldn't take them back to the land, and they were allowed to stay there. And to this day, there's actually a real big Muslim population in Ethiopia.
Right, and nobody knows about it, and we had the whole like starving kids and collapse of government
Well, I
cover
think
up.
it's interesting that they were so kind of like starved out like that. It's interesting what they did to
Well,
allegedly to us. It's interesting.
they like threw him out on because Selassie and Kennedy were working with NATO when it was a real deal, the Lion and the Lamb. But yeah, but they just threw him out on like embezzling weird ass shit. Apparently, I have a book from him about him.
Oh, that's cool.
No, but you got it, dude. I mean, but they're kind of didn't go through all the bullshit. I mean, they got hurt by it, but they didn't. They still have the history, A lot of
Well,
countries
it's
like
weird.
that.
Well, it's weird though dealing with the rock. I mean, I don't know. I mean, God knows, right? But like
Their calendar,
well, aside, well, there's a whole bunch we could talk about. I'm sure, but the idea that Selassie didn't die, the idea that Selassie was taken up. You know what I mean? Like there's theories that he didn't die, and there's the reports that they did
it's pretty
they had
sick.
killed that they killed him in one of his castles, and like he had like emaciated lions and shit. And I don't know the fucking details of it, but
Yeah, he
but
did
it's
have a
interesting
cat.
how the Rastas look at it. Like he didn't die. But there's an interesting idea of like, very much like like the body of Christ. There's
Purple is
so
purple is Saturn, so everyone's
what's
inverting us back to Jupiter for
it's
the
like royalty, right? It's like royalty.
yeah.
Purple is associated with royalty. There was a time when only the king could wear purple.
And it's
The sh-
weird. You're basically between blue and red. Like it's color, but you have indigo. Anyway, that's why. And that's why 2019 everything was purple.
What's purple in 2019?
The conjunction, like Saturn, Jupiter, even Tiger Woods' website had purple on it. And that guy wears red on everything. And yeah, anyway, I just said research thing. There's a lot going on then with
Boom,
Saturn
guys.
symbol.
Tiger fucking Woods' website was purple, guys. Boom. There you go.
Well,
Purple
hey,
rain, purple rain.
just happened to be, for that year.
Boom.
I think he got the
Globe Earth,
presidential medal.
Globe Earth debunked.
I mean, Adele did a concert with like Saturn earrings, Saturn ring, Saturn necklace.
I remember that. At concerts, was like people were all hyped about that shit. I fucking hate Adele.
But
Fucking
why did I get that?
sucks.
Well, no, but
She's
that
not
is
that bad actually.
like it's about 7, and everyone's calling Saturn 6 with the hexagon storm on the pole.
Yeah, I don't know how much I really believe that. To be honest with you.
With the pictures?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the Pentagon or hexagon, whatever the fuck. I mean, I've looked at Saturn through the telescope and shit.
I've done it
The
through a camera.
backyard. Yeah,
Telescope's better, but saw rings and moons and kind of interesting.
I don't know about moons, but I did see the ring.
Yeah, well, you gotta actually. I mean, I saw bands too with a camera. Can't believe it. Icon. I guess you overexpose for the moons, so you won't see rings and a moon. But Stellarium is tight, from what I've noticed, and that's just like a clock.
So since it's quiet and Taylor is here, Taylor, can you talk?
Yep.
I was curious, what's the final results you got, and how what happened with your test there?
Bonneville softball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I couldn't find any deviation. I was trying to, find 8 inches per mile squared and, like, basically verify the globe. And I was unable to do that because whenever I basically put a line on a survey stick of where it should have been if there was curvature, at 90 degrees versus if it was flat at 90 degrees. And, then whenever I lined it lined up with the part on the survey stick that was flat, at 90 degrees instead of the part it should have been if it was curved.
We moved the theodolite back over a mile. We set up a survey stick, okay, and moved the theodolite back over a mile. Set the theodolite to 90 degrees. It's perfectly leveled. The theodolite's set up correctly, and this is on the racetrack. Okay, it's like
Hell yeah.
it's this is a very smooth portion. Okay, and you set up the survey stick, you move the theodolite back over a mile, set it right at 90 degrees, and the survey stick is too tall.
Like it should be dropping.
Yeah. You should be looking at a higher portion of the survey stick than the middle, right? Than the same level.
Looking at the same exact level as
Yeah. It was either, like I'm saying, okay, how high is the theodolite? Some of the things are done at 5 feet. Most of them were done at 5.5 feet. It's pretty tall, but we are looking through it, and I'm telling you, I have a 5.5 feet marked out on the survey stick. It was either at that point or lower on the survey stick every single time.
Like it should have been taller, so it was like either flat or slightly concave. But the concave was pretty much insignificant. It's just, if anything, it was a little bit higher than lower. Right. Well, yeah, definitely. So we actually did it very early in the morning, and that was really good. It helped us get really stable data. And yeah, so basically, if you just think about it, there's a theodolite, there's a lens for the theodolite, and that would be set at 5 feet. Or one time we did 5.5, which is the tallest we could possibly get off the ground. And it's right in front of it. Then everything's all leveled out. You move back the survey stick for 1 mile. Okay. Then the survey stick has like little inch marks on it. Okay. And theoretically, you should have been looking at a higher part because it'd be dropping lower. But we're still looking dead straight on as where it was when it was right in front of the theodolite. Does that make sense?
Interesting. So you did everything a mile, right? Was a mile?
Yeah. Well, I did a half a mile too, just like in between. It was like the same thing. The furthest one we were able to test was 1.5 miles, and we still couldn't find deviation. And like we put a mark on the survey stick of where it should have been. And you can tell like where it should have been versus where it was. You could differentiate them. And yeah, so we did half a mile, 1.5 miles, and a mile.
Nice.
Very simple experiment, actually. Like just simply looking for 8 inches per mile squared. Or actually just 8 inches working for a mile, which you can see that the theodolite lens has 20x magnification. So it's like very magnified, extremely magnified. And like I said, early in the morning, it's very like stable and clear. As the day goes on, it starts to get wavy and, deviate from where it actually was. I think that, as the day goes on, it starts to show more, quote unquote curvature. And it starts to become more indiscernible because there's more atmospheric interference because of the temperature gradients that start to form from solar radiation heating up the earth.
Heat haze. Yep.
That bends up too, but you get artifacts.
Wait, what'd you say?
Well, I was saying sorry, I think the light, it would bend up as well. Like you would more convex, but you get stuff floating around in the haze that's obscured or whatever. Kind of illusions and stuff.
Yeah, as the day goes on, you get more profound temperature gradients, which is what I actually measured. Happened throughout the day. The temperature started raising, and everything started getting more and more like off balance to where honestly I couldn't even really differentiate the line anymore, and I couldn't like kind of no longer continue the experiment because if y'all have ever looked at like a road that's hot, if you're looking down a long road that's hot, it'll be like wavy and shaky. And it'll be hard to distinguish like, smaller objects from a far distance with those kind of conditions. Oh yeah, we also did a flashing a beacon test. A beacon test. This one's very interesting. So this one might be more convincing to some people that don't understand the whole theodolite thing. But we took a beacon, like a flashing light, the one that Dan has on his drone, and we put it at 4 feet high, and it was supposed to drop after 2.6 miles. 2.4? Okay, sorry, 2.4 miles. Once you go 2.4 miles, that blinking light is supposed to go behind the curvature of the earth, and like you can't see anymore. But we made a video driving away from the beacon, and we could still see it at around 3 miles, at least 3 miles. Dan says 3.2, but either way, it was well beyond 2.4. And we have it on video, but I have so much footage that I have to go through. I probably have 12 hours of footage. The footage of Dan doing the theodolite experiment, we were actually live streaming it on here. If anybody was here that morning, we were showing us setting it up and doing the experiment. I was attempting to show through the eyepiece of what I was looking at, but it was kind of difficult because it was so bright out there. It's hard to see my screen. But anyway, we were live streaming everything. And but the footage I have just for that experiment, like Dan had his own camera recording everything. It was around like at least 5 hours of footage because he was like recording everything that he was doing. Like even us just riding in the car talking, like was being recorded. Showing it. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so I can't promise you I'm gonna get that footage soon because I'm on a trip until July, around July 5th. And right now I'm at a conference, sort of conference. I don't want to call it conference, but it's like a group tour learning experience thing, where basically we're learning about the evidence of the flood at the Grand Canyon. So every morning we're having to wake up at 8 and we're going out during the day doing lectures, learning about the evidence of the flood and stuff like that at the Grand Canyon. And then coming back, and I'm getting ready for the next day. And so that's going to be happening for next week. And I have so much stuff to, get ready and so much footage to go through that I'm not going to be able to get that footage done soon. And I have to get a new hard drive too, because like I can't even upload it on my computer because the files are so big. I had to order a terabyte hard drive the other day, and I don't even know if that's enough. So I have no way to like move it right now. But either way, that's what happens. And I have photos. I think I have the video of the beacon on my phone that I might be able to upload shortly. That might be easier. But yeah, I'm super excited to like put everything together and share it with you guys. I've been doing a lot. We've also been interviewing Native Americans. Yesterday, we interviewed 2 elder Native Americans from the Navajo tribe, and they were telling us about their stories and legends. Well, they don't call them legends; they call them like legitimate stories of the giants that were in America. And I came on here and talked about that last night, but very, very interesting. Yeah.
Appreciate it. That's awesome. All that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what's his name? Dogs or Gods? Where's he at? Because he said he was going to give me $100 if I showed him that they came and took a giant from her land, and she never saw it again. And I'm just
Wrong
wondering if
shop
he's
up,
still
but
ready.
yeah.
What's
I'm
your
just want to know
Venmo?
if he's still ready to give it up. Get ready, bruh. As
We'll
soon
hunt
as
you
I
down.
can like get this footage moved, like he's gonna owe me some money.
Taylor, I just want to
Mhm.
say that I was witness there when he told you that. So, if you need a
Thank
witness, I was
you.
witness that you guys made the bet. I was there when the whole conversation went on. So I will back you up.
Good. Thank you. I have a witness.
Hold on, are we
But yeah,
betting on
she was telling us
Giants?
how
You
there
guys
was a
betting on
huge
Giants?
giants.
I got
Giants.
101.
Damn.
She was telling us how there was a huge giant that was on her land, that came and was removed. Basically, so there's this area in Arizona near Tuba, Arizona, that has a bunch of I know people don't like the word dinosaur. You can call it whatever you want. Dragons, Nephilim, whatever. Tracks. on her land that are like, fossilized. So they come and like show people around the dinosaur tracks, and she said she's been there like her whole life, and her mom did it, was I guess guiding people to come look at these dinosaur tracks or whatever. And they found apparently they found like dinosaurs or fossils in her yard, on her property, or this property that her parents been caring for. It's like Navajo land. So then she said that they were excavating one of the dinosaurs they were like gathering the bones or whatever, and that they found a huge giant human, like a giant, like a Nephilim. And she said that once they found that, the whole operation of them getting the dinosaurs had to completely end, and they had these people come and take it over, and they removed the giant, and like that she never saw it again. So then they basically came to her and she was like, what happened? Like, why did the excavation stop? She said that they showed her a picture of the giant and said, this is why. And that there was an image, and it was a giant human, like from like the torso up, that they showed her a picture of and just explained to her what happened. And so, yeah, she said that it was absolutely massive, and like the head was as tall as I am of the giant.
Can you
Smithsonian.
believe this? I can't believe this stuff.
You don't have to, but there's today we interviewed two more Native Americans, or one of them was a Native American, one of them somebody who worked at a fossil shop, and was saying that the Native Americans tell them all the time about these giants. And then the woman, do you remember what the last woman said that we interviewed?
She said everything again. Everybody here knows.
Everybody knows about that.
Everybody I've talked to here says Genesis is spot on. They understand that there was giants here, that men walked with dinosaurs, that men walked with giants, that the flood came and wiped out the giants. Like, I'm telling you, everybody knows. I was so blown away the first time I heard this, like just I guess yesterday or whatever. I had to go ask this group of women, like, is this common knowledge or something here? And they're like, yeah, here, the Navajo here, and other people, it's nothing to
Like,
us.
it's absolutely nothing. And, oh yeah, yeah, it's like nonchalant almost. It's so crazy. People interviewing people in this Navajo land. So another thing is, I went and asked her. I said, "Is there human footprints?" Like, she's an elderly woman, about 80 years old. Her family, her dad was a medicine man, and I think her mom was also a medicine woman. Her mom was a healer. She was a healer. Okay. Right. They weren't looking at skinwalkers. Apparently, it was like the healer, the Navajo tribe, whatever. Either way, okay, let me get to the story. So I've lost what I was saying now. What the heck? Oh yeah, I remember. No, wait, I forgot. What was it about? Oh yeah. Okay, I was just giving you a background to that woman. So anyway, they had I asked her. I said, "Is there any human footprints here, like near the dinosaur footprints?" She's like, only one person has came and asked me that before. And do you remember what that person was doing?
Person studying the
Person studying.
story of the man getting eaten by the dinosaur.
Oh yeah. She said there was one other person that ever asked, and then she walked me over and showed me these two human footprints. And it was two of them, and then they completely ended. There was no more, but there was a bunch of dinosaur footprints, and you could see like a dinosaur track kind of running around where the human was, and then the human footprints just stopped completely. And she said the last person that came and asked her said that they made up a story that somebody was trying to go pet one of them and got eaten. They're just kind of putting a tail behind it, but either way, you can see the two human footprints and then a bunch of dinosaur footprints and no more human footprints. So
those footprints themselves, and they fit perfectly, and you can
yeah, definitely
run around, stand right in front of you, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, there was these tracks everywhere. They found, like, I saw like a claw petrified tooth. Oh my gosh, the eggs were the craziest thing. There was a petrified dinosaurs. You can see some of them kind of sliced in half and like rock. But there was a nest. You could see like whatever happened, I don't know.
quickly.
Yeah, something like we were learning today about how water, like something quickly has to fossilize stuff because over time, think about those eggs. Those eggs would break down over time and degrade, but something has to happen to like make them fossilize very quickly. Because if you leave an egg out, it's not going to turn into a freaking rock, a fossil. It has to be petrified, and apparently that takes it being underwater and so on and so forth. But anyway, so yeah, she showed me what she said was human and dinosaur footprints, and it was nonchalant to her. Like it's kind of like common knowledge. It's the craziest thing ever. Like I never would have thought that people are like, yeah, definitely. Like that's definitely giants. There were definitely giants here. Like, and it's just crazy. And then the last woman that I interviewed, she said her dad was a Navajo. Was that the woman at the store? Hmm.
She has some family, but they lived here for a long time.
Okay. So anyway, this last woman at the shop, I thought she said she was part Native American. Is that not the case?
One of her side.
I think it was her dad, Choctaw or something like that. Either way, I have it all recorded so I can look back at it.
She said is that it's not just the Navajo. She said
it's every tribe. Oh, I can't wait to share all this last week. She said every single tribe knows about the giants. It's not a secret. It's not like some mystery secret. She said all of them know about it. She said every single tribe, and she emphasized that. She's like, there's no particular tribe, it's all of them. But anyway, she was actually brought up the dinosaur footprints in Glen Rose, Texas. She was like, yeah, they had dinosaur and human footprints there. There's also some in Glen Rose, Texas. That's the first place I went. That's the place I posted a picture on my Twitter the other day. Next to the dinosaur footprint on top of the human footprint. So she knew about that. So yeah.
What size? What shape of the Earth do they? What's the shape of the Earth to them?
I haven't actually asked him that question yet, but I've been meaning to. Yeah, like what
If they
is
say
there?
that,
What is
if they
there
say
like
that the
legend
Earth,
say about there?
if they say that they live on a globe because of like the ancient aliens, what are you gonna do about that?
I don't think that they believe in aliens. They know that these. Oh yeah, whenever
Well, I mean the
Dr.
giants.
John Mose, he's a medicine man, and he actually made the Navajo Rosetta Stone so people can learn how to speak Navajo language. He's like very high up and respected.
educator for over 40 years.
Definitely. Well, what was he telling us about? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. So he was like, yeah. He was showing us petroglyphs on the wall because I had a private tour with him because Dr. Don Mo is one of the most respected Navajos, and I recorded this tour with him. And yeah. Anyway, so he was showing us, and he's like, yeah, here's the beings that came down. Like, I can't remember what he called them. He said aliens, but not aliens from another planet. There's some other spiritual, and I was like, where did they come from? He's like, oh yeah, they're just negative entities, like
Sky people as well. The sky people that come down.
yeah, this guy's
Top of kind of all the other pictograms. It's got like 3 dash like probes coming out of its head. I mean, it looks like an alien. Like, okay.
But it's not from another. But they know it's not from another. But they know
Exactly.
it's spiritual. They know the whole thing was spiritual.
Very clear that is demonic.
Yeah, he knew it was demonic. Whatever those things were that came down, he knew they were like spirits. And yeah, so I don't know if they believe the ancient aliens. That's a bunch of garbage, really. That's Zachariah Sitchin.
No, ancient aliens.
Nowhere in the
Chris
parents
White.
was even they came from another planet.
Whoever hasn't seen it, Chris White, Ancient Aliens debunked. It's 3 hours long. He goes through all the claims. He absolutely debunks the whole Ancient Aliens thing. They're just lying.
Yep.
So
That's cool.
People are on reservations because
I'm a poster right now.
But anyway, it's common knowledge up here that we walked with giants and apparently dinosaurs too. I have it recorded.
dragons.
Yeah. That's the last woman was saying, oh yeah, we don't call them dinosaurs. We call them like dragon or Nephilim. Like she said the word Nephilim, and she said first she was really honing in on the word dragon, but she said we don't call them dragons. I mean, sorry, we don't call them dinosaurs. We call them dragons or something of that nature. I don't know what the actual word is in Navajo, but she said that she doesn't agree with the word dinosaur. And I
mean, they were
honestly, she didn't even believe in the Bible either. She was telling us, oh yeah, I think it's been changed, this and that and the other. So she's not even one of the people that's like fundamentalist Christian over here believing in the Bible. This is just common knowledge. And I'm sure to ask them, I said, did y'all get this information from the Bible or did y'all get it from Navajo legends? And they're saying, yes, these are Navajo legends from the Navajo tribe and other tribes.
almost all the Navajos are Christian now because every Navajo legend.
Yeah, they have a word.
New Testament.
They believe in Jesus. They call him the talking God because he's the word of God in the Bible. And it's no, they didn't even know that. They said they call him the talking God. And then whenever the Bible came, they saw he was the word of God. So he was just like going into so much detail about all these things that line up.
Which is the Holy Spirit.
The Spirit God, the Holy Spirit. Like he was like breaking all this down to it. It was crazy. So they like a lot of them actually believe in the Bible and Christianity, and there's stories that line up so perfectly with it. And what do they call the Most High?
Supreme Spirit, Ultimate Spirit.
There's another name I can't remember.
I thought it was Ultimate Spirit.
Something like that, yeah. Either way, I want to post this stuff, but it's going to take so long to go through it. And the video would probably be long, so I would like you guys' advice on, should I like post like small short segments that are concise, or should I like try to post more in-depth things, or like what should I do? It's going to take me forever, but I'm so excited to post it.
2-minute videos would be the best.
What'd you say?
Like 2-minute videos, short videos, because people won't watch the long ones. I think.
Yeah.
So like
I'll try
15-minute videos on different topics.
Yeah, maybe that's good. Yeah, I'll try to do that. But then they're gonna be, what's the context? I'm gonna have to go dig it all back. Either way, I'll make it work.
You know what you can do is you can make long form videos and then like AI can make a bunch of short form videos out of it.
Okay, well I feel like I've talked enough.
Here's somebody else. Here's somebody.
I have an unusual request, Taylor.
What's that?
Because yesterday we were talking about Indians and warfare and this and that. Now maybe you should save this for the last day when you leave, right? Can you ask them if like what kind of warfare they had and between their tribes? Like what's the story? Like what's the history?
Don Rose is telling us about warriors, but like what makes a good warrior, how to train.
I don't know. Okay, I'll try to remember.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is there a reason, like, so I can try to hone in on something particular?
Well, we're having a conversation the other day, and some people were under the impression that Indians didn't fight amongst each other.
Okay.
Would appreciate it. Thanks.
So the Apache are actually a branch of the Navajo, and the Apache believe, like what Don Mose told us, was the Apache is basically a branch of the Navajo, and the Apache are nomadic. And the Apache would be, I mean, I'm sure many people have heard this already. You know, this is not news to me really, but like the Apache believed that they didn't necessarily have their homeland, but that it was all of it was theirs to use. And so I'm sure that ran into many conflicts with other, you know, different tribes or whatever. So they were very nomadic, and they'd be willing to go, you know, take your stuff and live on your land and take your resources because, you know, we don't have a home. It's all our home. You know what I mean? That's at least the attitude that was expressed by Dr.
I cannot believe how much common knowledge the giants are here. I am like still processing it. It's like nonchalant to them. It's like, yeah, we walked with dinosaurs. There's giants. Like, yeah. So what?
Was telling us that the petrified wood you see, that's just the tree branches.
Oh yeah. You know those big it's called a butte. You know those huge, like I have pictures of them, like Devil's Tower, that huge tree stump looking thing. So they said that that's the stump. And today I went to Petrified Forest, and she said that's the branches to the stump because there's no roots around it. So those huge things that look like a huge tree trunk are actually just the branches of an even larger tree trunk, which are the buttes that look like a giant stump.
100%.
I totally think that. I've seen a bunch of those.
I can't believe it's like these are like crazy conspiracies, but over here it's like, yeah, so what? So
And
I'm just still shocked.
petrified forest right by me. I've got
Yeah.
petrified wood in my front yard that are the size of a chair.
Wow. You know, I think I'm doing something kind of legendary because every time I look up Native American stories on the giants, like they'll try to tell me, "Oh yeah, like they'll be like, you know how YouTube is, and they're like, yeah, they just thought giants were like symbolic for like some big problem you're facing, but in reality, you come over here and actually talk to them, talk to like tribe leaders and man elders that are the highest in the tribe, and it's common knowledge to the people. It's common knowledge, like so it's just crazy how much like the internet skews reality. It's so crazy.
Like I said, they're on reservation, so that's bottled up, controlled. I mean, I believe all of what you're saying. Makes sense. People were
Yeah,
hunting these.
I'm just gonna post what they say, and people can believe what they want. They can take what they want and at face value or whatever, and believe. I don't really care. It's my job only to post it, and then they can believe what they want.
Yeah, Stellium 7 has done amazing work on the, giant trees and stuff. And actually, him and another guy theorized that the Devil's Tower is actually looks exactly like a slime mold that grows. So it's actually like a fungus, which I think
Yeah,
would be
because
really interesting.
structure of the
Yeah, the way that it.
hexagon.
Yep.
The biogeology guy.
That's the guy.
That is the guy, isn't it?
I was thinking that there's a lot of places that are like Bonneville. It's really special that you're there. That's cool.
Well, I'm in Arizona right now.
Oh, okay.
I only had a
So
couple
you're
days there.
what's the racetrack there? Sorry, the
Speedway. Oh yeah, we looked
Okay.
at LiDAR scans just to make sure it was like very level, and it was like extremely flat. It's called one of the flattest places on earth for a reason.
Yeah, well, I think there's dozens of places like that. So you have the oceans and
Oh yeah, like the
it's
top of
it.
water thing? Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
Yeah, well, no, it's hard to complete the circle. 10 square miles of flat lake bed,
yeah.
multiple. I like hearing the convex thing too.
What'd you say?
Like the convex, like the
Oh yeah. Okay.
borderline convex measurement.
Well, I wouldn't say that that's really what it was, but if anything, it was slightly above, but many of them were just so dead on. It was crazy. It should have been okay. So if it was convex, 8 inches per mile squared, we should have seen it more profound.
Yeah.
But it was just dead on. Like, let me see if I could post a picture.
Well, I mean, it is probably a lake bed, so might have a curve to it.
Have you guys ever heard of silicon-based life form?
Yeah, but I don't think it'd work.
Well, that's the
Yeah,
theory that
it doesn't
Right.
have enough electronegativity to actually hold stable bonds that you need for any, polymers, which you need to build up something to make life. Like to have these long chains, to have
well,
life, like, it has to be so many atoms to have like what we are, and the bonds would basically break down.
different atmosphere maybe, but
It's just the problem with the electronegativity. Like, it
yeah,
doesn't
the
mind.
Devil's Tower being like a grass tree.
If you look at that, if we're talking about the same one, that tower that looks like a stump, is that the one you're talking about? It has these long
Yeah.
strands. Well, they say that those strands symbolize silicon-based life.
I don't know.
Not
It's like
saying
a tree.
yeah, I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, so
So it looks
actually
like
a lot of in petrification, you'll have a lot of like silicone come and bind in like the crevices and build up like, rocks that are like silica. But like the original tree are like stuff that's not a fossil, and like if it's like in its original form, like petrified wood, like you should be able to test for like carbon in general. But yeah, I know what you're saying. That's interesting. I just don't think it would work personally.
well, those columns look more like a cross section of I think like flax grass, which kind of makes it believable. But like trees don't have that hexagon like tissue.
Yeah, they have the circular base, ring after ring after ring. Yeah, completely different.
Yeah, there's lots of like mountainsides that have those rings, just like you'd expect from a tree. And that is one of the things that makes me think that Devil's Tower, it was some kind of fungus.
Yeah,
And then
well,
it makes you wonder, well, what kind of a tree was that fungus under?
there you go.
Yeah,
There's that
apparently they did
hexagon
like
everywhere.
they did seismographic scans and found like root systems for miles.
That would work with a fungus, but
It'd be mycelium, yeah.
Crazy.
like still the
Yeah.
largest organism on Earth is like a fairy ring in England.
Word. That's a good point. Yeah, I put a video in the chat from Stellium 7. I think it was the one that I remember about Devil's Tower. It's just kind of a neat one. I think there's some music to it. Fun watch.
That's cool.
He does a lot, man, that like is recognized, but like not numbers really, but
Dude, we're trying to drone it and the drone wouldn't even take off. Like we've never seen that before. Like the drone wouldn't even take off. Like it said unauthorized. Like they're protecting it so much, all this stuff. We're trying to get drone footage, but no, it's crazy.
yeah, and a lot of the stuff's in reservations where like the people are like, we deal with federal people, but this is us, our land.
That too. Yeah, that
And they
as
know
well.
about
A lot of it's government like controlled.
Yeah, I just watched some video on the dynamic of like, police or the control of that. We know about this area, we know what those mountains are, all this stuff, but I know that's a nasty topic, reservations, but in private land in general.
Hey, thank you guys for going out there, Sharon. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm
Yep, we're
looking
just
for
doing it for the game, doing it for the, the love of learning.
Yep.
looking forward to what else you're gonna learn.
Hey, we're all going to learn something, no doubt. I love it. Thank you, Gio, for the space, brother.
Thank y'all for the encouragement, because like you guys are really the only ones I'm sharing it with.
I appreciate that. Awesome.
I should probably like set up
Anybody
like a
that doesn't
YouTube
think you're
channel.
cool is jealous.
What'd you say?
Said anybody that doesn't think you're cool is jealous. I think it's awesome you're out there
Oh,
doing
well,
that. Do you have
thank you.
are you still got stuff lined up that you're doing, or
Yeah, well, tomorrow we're going to the quote unquote meteor crater. And I
Oh,
think we're going
yeah.
to be learning about how this is like there's evidence that it's actually like water coming up out of it. And some people say that that caused the flood. And so we're going to be looking at that tomorrow.
oh
The
awesome,
one
yeah.
In Arizona?
Yeah, in Arizona.
Mhm.
So it's
I
supposed
was
to be
there,
the
man.
biggest one, right? The biggest meteor that
Yep.
we can
It's the
see.
biggest one. And it's not
If you
that
look at
big.
the Gulf of America looks like or a big meteor hit,
Right.
I find it
Gulf of America.
fascinating. They have like their own ecosystems in these craters.
I don't know about that. Anyway, I was there a long time ago. It was freaking windy. I remember that, bro. I could barely stand up. It was howling. It was kind of messed up. But
It has been windy.
anyway, it's Great Desert, man. Southwest is kick ass, man. What a cool place, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing. The rock formations everywhere. Whatever. The bluffs, like you were saying, just blow your mind. Awesome.
Yeah, what up, Flat Earth, dude?
What's up, Issa? Are you playing some festival? I heard or some shit. What?
I think it may be canceled, but I'm not too sure.
Right. I heard a fucking rumor. I thought I'd ask you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna. What do you call it? Yeah, Flatlander or something.
Flatland or
But
something? Flatland.
Flatlander. They had something come up with the some venues, if I'm not mistaken. But they may be looking for a new spot, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're
So
way
Taylor,
off.
you're gonna hit up Sedona. Are there any Red Rock conspiratorial thoughts?
Oh yeah, one of them, the woman, the last woman we talked to today said that it was like flesh. Some people say it's flesh of the giants
Oh,
petrified.
I was up there like last year, and I recommend. It's beautiful. Number one, it's sort of a little tourist trap, but yeah, you can see like meat. Like not like like you have like a vein of fat and some meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was at McDonald's, so I wasn't hungry, but I was looking at it and I was like, how is this made? That's how is this shit made?
Yeah. It's all parts of giant creatures, man. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But I've seen a lot of speculation over the years.
You know how like normally like in like you're just like walking around asking questions. Maybe one in every like 20 or 25 people will know what you're talking about and hear about it. But up here, it's like every single person I talk to, it's like common knowledge.
Well, they've lived there a long time, man. They're like, they hear about it all the time, I'm sure, right? From each other, sharing among the tribes, right? What are you talking about? Or just like gas station guy knows, oh yeah, giants. Yeah, they were over there. Yeah, whatever. No, he ain't gonna give a shit. But now the Indians on the reservation, yeah, they know what's up. I met a lot of them, flat earthers.
I'm gonna have to ask him that.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. I'm pretty sure they're probably say we're not spinning and shooting through outer space millions of miles an hour or something crazy like that.
I'm not that guy. Risky.
You ain't that guy? What do you think that guy? Who's that guy?
Well,
What guy are you talking about?
you just described that guy as you.
Did I? Not sure. What up, Gilly? I heard you say hi
So
before. I had my hands full.
Yeah, no problem, brother. Good morning over here. Whatever, afternoon over there, or whatever.
What is it? 4 p.m. here. It's getting towards the end of the workday. Deciding whether or not I cut a hole in the vehicle and
Oh, you
patch it up
guys
in
are.
time, or
Are you,
You
in the
got it, man.
future?
You
Are
you
you
want to
in
got it.
ask about the
Wednesday?
upside down?
Cut
The
the
down
hole,
under?
man. Go cut the hole. Go do it, man. Real quick, man. Knock it out.
Will do.
Cheers, man.
Digging a hole to find where the water goes. What was that Beatles song telling you?
Hmm. Hmm. No, man. I've never been to that thing, GM. Fuck. Not even close. No. Shit. I've been to Catalina a couple times, man. We just go sail over there and fucking drink and eat and go home, you know. I forgot it was Catalina Island. I don't know if you guys know, in Southern California, there's an island 26 miles across from Los Angeles.
What's
It's
this in the
just
south of LA?
Yeah, it's in Southern California, a little bit south of LA, a little west, southwest. And yeah, it's this island, man. It's got all these weird connections to like giants and buffaloes and rich people, and it's mostly fucking shrubs, and there's just a couple little spots that are there's
Well, yeah,
Indian
you gotta pay to go to the beach.
It's like they got this little bay area. They got a casino there.
Hello?
But yeah, I've been to Avalon. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah, yo.
Yeah, it's like in the very back of Avalon. Like it's down this road. It's totally
Oh
dark.
yeah, I never went up the road or
It's,
anything. No.
It's out there, Tropical Gardens, and then it's like
Well-
the Wrigley Memorial, and then
Well-
at some point he was buried there in a sarcophagus, Egyptian style.
Interesting.
I guess they moved his body during World War II or something.
Wow. Damn. Did not
And this
know
is
that.
the same Wrigley that made all his money off spearmint.
Yes, the same guy that
Yeah.
owned the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, he had the Cubs on the island for like.
And the Cubs, they were practicing like during before the season started. They were playing baseball in Catalina. Yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah, there's a lot to that island besides
he had
the
a
Wrigley connection, but
had a Freemason lodge, because he's a big time Freemason. Wrigley
Right.
Field, but they moved it to Temecula.
So are all those Freemason guys definitely know Earth's flat, but ain't gonna tell you? And if you tell them you think it is, and you're not a Freemason, they're gonna
I doubt
look
they
at
know.
you.
I doubt every or most, probably 99%. I have no idea. Why would they know?
Yeah, because one guy I met this last 5 years, he said he was a Freemason, and then he would never entertain any flat Earth talk with me.
what did he say to you? Like, hey man, I don't talk about that.
No, I think because I was roommates with him, so
Yeah.
he was coming down. He used to be more wealthy and shit, and he said he would go and donate money and blah 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 blah. And I think he wouldn't give me a smile every time, but he wouldn't entertain even talking about the shape of Earth.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, I ran into some of my best friends, and I'm like, hey man, have you looked at Earth and checked it out? Yeah, and they're like, you're fucking crazy, bro.
Your best friends are Freemasons? What are you saying here?
I'm saying I've talked to my best friends, try to tell them the Earth is flat, man. They fucking tell me I'm crazy. I'm like, oh shit, man.
And they say you go crazy after you turn 30, right? That's when you start looking into shit.
Right around like 28, I think is more like right now time. Yeah. Yeah, that's when I started looking
I
into
was
shit.
always into conspiracies, but flat Earth always seemed silly to me, like religious. You know, I never looked into it till
Well, how well do you
2015.
remember 9/11?
Like it was yesterday. I can.
I totally wasn't even
GM.
watching TV those years.
GM would have been in school, man. GM would have been in school.
9/11. I was
Yeah.
27, 28.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. Never mind.
So
Fuck.
I think if anyone ever mentioned flat Earth, I would just be like, okay,
2001.
like you want to believe something, if you want to believe in a Messiah or Jesus Christ or
I
whatever
remember
it is,
seeing it in like
accept
a
that.
zine back in the day. I think Fact Sheet 5, and it had a section on flat Earth, like flat Earth books or magazines. And I just thought, oh man, that's some religious fucking nonsense.
Right.
That was like that was probably about 95. 96.
Damn.
Yeah, it was
Damn.
like some punk rock zine, you know?
See, I've heard more things about the flat Earth before I looked into it, to where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is why they thought Earth was flat, because they sailed south from their once the compass was invented, they knew to go the opposite way from north, and they went out, and then they went all the way around. And thought, oh, they must have been in a dish, but no, they're on a ball. And, oh, okay, it makes sense on a ball. And these are like the substitute teachers that want to. They're just trying to bide the time to entertain you. It's always, these aren't the droids you're looking for, until you look into it and you say, these are the fucking droids I'm looking for.
You got to write the song, man.
I was before I looked into it in 2015, I had seen it, dude. Like, I'm looking at other conspiracy shit, and it would be on the sidebar right there. Like the
How long did you put it off for? Like 2 years?
at least a year.
Yeah, me too.
I'm pretty sure it was Eric Dubay. Like, there's a picture of the Earth, and then like there's an edge, and like a dome or something like that. You know. Kept
I
seeing
love
it.
when they got the dome with the frozen ice edge out in outer space.
That's a psyop, dude. I'm pretty sure.
When anyone ever says, "Oh, are you a real flat earther? Where's the edge?"
Where's the
Then I
edge?
know that they're newbies on trolling flat earthers. Like, you haven't even looked into it at all. You're talking about an edge.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Yeah, let's piece this thing together, man. I think we're doing a kick-ass job, man. There's so many little pieces we've covered, uncovered, talked about, speculated about, whatever, man. It's been like hundreds and hundreds of pieces, and it's been fascinating to see the evolution of it. But with a place like this, man, we can talk about it, whatever. It's just amazing.
I was
Hope you
thinking
guys.
today how
Go ahead.
Witsit sort of dropped the ball for us. No pun intended.
Yeah, there's people that go out and try some things and get committed into just out there doing their thing, man. And sometimes you get tripped up, man. That's all I gotta say. Like, damn, that didn't work out like I thought it would. That's interesting. But yeah, keep trying, keep going. Don't give up.